In this video, we will be authenticating all of our users that will be available under the customer application with the help of JWT. The initial video will be based upon JWT, later we will be also authenticating all of our users with the help of phone authentication. So for now, for today's tutorial, we are going to use JWT. So pack your bags and let's get started. So first thing first, what is JWT? Now you can visit the following website of jwt.io to get a detailed explanation of what is JWT and how it will be working. But to a surface level, I will be calling at JWT to be a manager token. With the help of that token, we will be able to access our application, and once that token will be expired, the user won't be able to access that application one more time. So without any further delay, let's get into more action rather than theory, and let's get started. So first thing first, if you haven't seen the previous tutorials, kindly watch that. Based on those videos, you will be able to understand what is going on today. So first of all, you can see I have my terminal here. So under my terminal, I will be installing certain packages. Now, yes, you guess it right, the package will be everything about JWT. So here I will be simply writing npm install JSON web token. You don't have to write JWT, but you have to write here JSON web token. After this, I will be using a package known as email validator. Now, this package will be helpful in validating all of our users. That is validating all of our emails. So here you can see I got my email validator as well. And lastly, we also need a library known as bcrypt. Bcrypt will be used to save the encrypted passwords under our database. Right now, we are saving all of the plain passwords, but with the help of bcrypt, we will be able to save the decrypted passwords. So now simply press enter and let npm do its magic work. That is, let's npm install all of the following packages. Also, I want to let you know that if you know some people who are under Flutter business, that is they want to build Flutter application, kindly suggest this channel to all of your friends so that all of our gang will be becoming big and big. So make sure you are adding all of your friends under our channel subscription. So you can see here, I got my packages installed. After this, I will be also requiring some types of them. So here I will be simply writing here npm install @types JSON web token, and also one more thing for the bcrypt. So here simply write npm install @type bcrypt --save -dev and simply press enter. Alright, so I have got a bad spelling as usual. So the spelling of everything will be here JSON web token. So I have missed the double E here. And yeah, so simply press enter one more time. Alright, I guess we haven't put under our backend folder. So what we can do, we can simply go under our backend folder for now and run the following commands one more time. So simply run the following command of this one, that is npm install all the packages. And yeah, one more command for all the types. So I will simply run the following command of all the types. Awesome. So here you can see I got all the packages up and ready. So now let's get started with the working actually. So now what will be happening here? What I'll be doing? Alright, first of all, let me delete the entire module folder because I don't need that. Alright, let's delete all of them. Alright, so all of them are deleted. So now you can see here, if you have seen the previous tutorials, we have got all the controllers, repositories, entities, and etc. Right. So now what I'll be doing under my customer controller, that is customer folder, I will be getting a controller known as authentication.controller.ts. That is TypeScript. Right. So first thing first, what I'll do, let's visit any of the following controller. Alright, let's visit a controller of customer controller. And here I will be copying the following request and response and pasting it here. So first of all, what I'll do, I'll export a new class known as authentication controller. Right, the easy thing. So now first thing first, we'll be creating a method for signing up the users. Right, so here I'll say static asynchronous, and here I'll say create new account. Right, it will be requiring a request as a parameter. So let's call it a type of request from our express module, and also response. Right, so under for creating a new account, we will be only taking two different fields, that is user email and user password. Also, we have got our customer entity. Here you can see we are storing two different fields, customer email and customer password. So now what I'll do, I'll say let customer email and customer password should be equal to request.body. Right, we need to take the values from our body of the request. Right, so now what will be happening here, let me zoom in a little bit so it will be more clear to you. So now what will be happening here, first of all, we need to validate all of our users. Right, so here I'll be getting a method known as static validate email. Right, it will be requiring an argument known as customer email, which will be a string. Right, so now what I'll be doing, I'll go at the top, and here I'll simply say import everything as email validator from email validator, right? So now what I'll be doing here, I'll say let is validated is equal to customer, or not customer but email validator dot validate customer email, right? Customer email. I don't know why it is not taking the input, but let's say customer email. All right, and here I'll simply say return is validated. Right now it will be of type of boolean, so I'll simply say a boolean, right? So now what we'll be doing, we'll be simply calling the following method, right? So here I'll say let is valid email is equal to authentication controller dot valid email, and here I'll simply say that is validated email, and here I'll be simply adding the following argument to be a customer email. So now I can simply say if the email is invalid, I can simply say if it is not a valid email, I'll simply sending a different response. So under response, I'll simply say return response.send, and here I'll simply say signed to be false, and here I'll simply say some message of, let's say, invalid email, right? If the following email is invalid, I can also use a else block, and under this else block we'll be sending a JWT. So now what we'll be doing, we'll be importing our bcrypt library because we need to decrypt all of our passwords. So I'll simply say import bcrypt from the library that we have installed known as bcrypt. So right now what we can do, first of all we need to add a new salt. What salt will be doing, salt will be encapsulating all of the user email and it will be spreading over the particular string. Now let me show to you about how it will be working. First of all, we will be declaring a variable of salt, and here I'll be simply saying it should be under await state for bcrypt.gen salt. The value should be 10. Right now we have got our salt generated. Now what I can do, I can simply say bcrypt dot hash. Under this hash, it will be requiring a customer password. So right now we can copy our customer password and paste it here. So right now what it will be doing, it will be taking the customer password, adding some salt over it, and after that it will be giving us a callback. So under callback, I can simply say error. We'll be getting some error if any, and also a hash password, right? So we will be getting a string of hash password, also a error. So I can open the following arrow function just like this, and now what I'll doing, first of all I'll checking up the error. So I'll simply say if error is not equal to undefined, if we are getting some error, I'll be sending a response known as this one. Right now the error will be nothing but simply something went wrong. Also I'll be console logging the error for our own sake so that we can debug it properly. So I'll simply say console log the error if the error exists. But now if the error do not exist, we can move forward. Right, so now you can see we have got our hash password here. Now what we need to do, we need to save this hash password under our repository. If I simply say customer repository, here you can see we are adding the value of customer, right? We are adding the entire customer. So now what we can do, we can check whether the following hash password is empty or not, right? So we can go back, and here I'll simply say if hash password, all right, if hashed password is not equal to undefined, if you have got some values, we can store the value under our repository. So now what I'll be doing, I'll be simply saying let customer repository should be equal to get custom repository. Now the following get custom repository will be imported from our type ORM. So right now I'll simply say under this it will be nothing but simply customer repository, right? So customer repository. So now we have got the following instance of our customer repository. Now we need to save the following hash password and also email address under our repository. So now what we need to do, under our repository method, we need to add a new password here. So now I'll cancel this the manual password parsing, and I'll simply say here hashed password to be equal to a new string. We'll be also requiring a hash password, right? And here as per of customer password, we'll be storing here our hash password, right? So this should be it. We are storing our hash password. Now let's go under customer now let's go under customer controller, and I'll simply remove the following method from this side because we don't require this, right? So simply save everything. Yeah, so let's get rid of it, and now you can see I'll simply say here. So now once we have got the following instance of our hash password, first of all we need to check whether the particular user exists under our application or not, so that he won't be able to create multiple accounts under our application, right? So now what we need to do, we need to check whether the particular user exists under our application or not, right? So I'll simply say let check if exist which will be a boolean, right? So it will be of type of await this dot create query builder. From our query builder, we will be querying the customer table, and from this I am simply selecting all the data where I can use this where clause. Under where clause, it will be simply saying customer, the table name, operator, that is a period, that is dot, and the value, the following value of customer email. If it is equal to the customer email thing, having a colon, and a dynamic value will be a customer email. Right now, what is happening here? If I simply visit my customer entity, you can see I got a field of customer email under the table of customer. Right now, if I simply say customer dot customer email is equal to this customer email, the dynamic one, simply get the count. I'll simply say get count if the count is greater than 0 or not. Right, greater than 0. This will be a boolean. Right. If the count is greater than 0, it means that user exists. If the count is not greater than 0, it means the user is a new one. So right now what I can do, I'll simply say if check if exists, if the user exists, what we can do, we can take the response and we can paste it here. I'll simply say sign to be false, and then I'll simply say user already exists. Right. If the user already exists, we will be sending this message. Also, what we will be doing, we will be sending some response back to our this method if the following method of adding all the customer is validated or not, that is if it is succeeded or not. So now what I'll do, I'll simply say here return false. Instead of returning the entire response, I'll be simply saying return false. If the following user exists, I'll say return false, that is the following user is not added. But if the user do not exist, I'll simply say here else, an else block. Under else block, I'll simply carry out this operation. Right. So now I'll simply say only for adding all the members. This one. Because we don't require to send a particular different response, so I can remove this stuff. Right. So now you can see once the following user is added, I can simply say return true. Right. If the following user is added, I'll say return true, and that's it. Now what will be happening here? I'll simply say let is user added should be equal to await customer repository dot add customer. It will be requiring a request, response, and a hash password. Right. So now I can simply say here I can add a if condition. I can simply say if is user added. If the user is added, we can send some JWT back. Right. So now what I'll be doing, I'll go at the top and I'll simply say here import JWT from JSON web token. Right. So now what I'll do, I'll simply use the method of JWT dot sign. It will be creating a new method. It will be creating a new JWT, that is it will be signing up a new JWT. So now under JWT, first of all, it will be requiring a payload. What will be the payload? Payload will be nothing but simply a unique identifier. So now I'll simply say the unique identifier is a customer email. So now we can go at the top and copy our customer email. Right. After this, it will be requiring a secret key. Now for now, I'll simply say the secret key is abracadabra. Right. Whatever they think we need, we can add our secret key. After this, it will be also requiring nothing but simply expiry time. Right. So I'll simply say expires in, let's say, 48 hours. After 48 hours, the following JWT will be expired. Once we get the following expiry time, we also require here a callback. So I'll simply say a callback of error and the value. So now what I can do, I can go somewhere between here, this one. So I can copy the entire callback and I'll simply say here JWT data. Right. It will be throwing an arrow function just like this. Now after expiry time, we can also add our own callback. So here I'll simply say asynchronous error, which will be any, and also some JWT data, which will be any for now. We will be throwing it back. Right. Alright, it's a wrong error spelling. So I'll say error. So first of all, we need to catch the error. Right. So here what I can do, I can copy the if else, that is error block. This one. Right. So now I can also say if JWT data, if it is not equal to undefined, all right, if it is not equal to undefined, we can send a different response back. right? So what I can do, I can copy the response from this side, and here I'll say sign to be true, and finally we'll be sending our JWT as a message. So this will be our entire method. Let me zoom out a little bit. So first of all, let me explain to you one more time here. So first of all, we are taking the value from the user, that is customer email and customer password. Then we are using our method, that is our helper method of validate email. If the email is not valid, we are sending a response of sign to be false, message to be invalid email. After that, we are creating a salt for our decryption. Under decryption, we are using a hash method. Under this, we are providing our customer password, some salt, and a callback. Under callback, we are getting our hash password as our output. So first of all, we are checking if the error is not equal to undefined. We are sending some message back, that is signed to be false and message to be something went wrong. After that, if the hash password is undefined, that means if we are getting some hash password, we are taking the instance of our customer repository under which we are adding our of our users. And here we are sending a message to be ready, response to be false if the user is not added, if the user already exists. But if the user ID is added for a new site, we are sending return to be true. And finally, if the following user is added, we are saying here JWT to be, we are using the method of JWT sign. Under this, we are providing our payload. So here I'll simply say here payload for now. So I'll say payload to be our customer email, some secret key, some expiry time, and also a callback. So this was a complete explanation of how the authentication will be working for creating a new account. So without any further ado, let's test it out. So for testing it out, first of all, what I'll do, I'll go under my routes folder, and under under routes, I'll simply say authentication dot routes dot ts. So right now I can copy some routes from this side and paste it here. Also, we don't require the customer routes. So here I'll simply say here, the router name will be authentication or auth router, right? So let's have auth router everywhere. So now what we can do, we can send a post request. So I'll simply say here for sign one, and here I'll simply say authentication controller dot create new account, right? So now over the path of sign method, will be creating a new account, right? So now what I can do, I can remove this stuff from here, and I'll simply say here authentication to be auth. Here I'll simply say authentication router, that is auth router, right? So now we have got our path here of auth, where we are following the method of sign, where we are using this thing of method of create new account. So now let's test it out. For testing it out, I will be using a Postman. So now let's clear everything and run npm run dev. Now let's test it out finally. So we have got our Postman here. So now what I can do, first of all, let's have the local host here. Yeah. So let's have localhost, and under localhost, the path will be authentication / sign, and the method will be post method. Right now the port is running over 8080, so make sure you are adding a right port here. So right now, if I simply send a post request, under this it will be requiring a body. So let's make it big. So under body, it will be JSON format. So under this, first of all, it will be requiring customer email. So I'll simply say a new customer, let's say Rohan, or let's say Rishabh @gmail.com. After this, I'll say customer password. For a customer password, it will be, let's say for now, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. So that will be, it will be easy to remember. So now if I simply send a post request, all right, we also require a slash here. So send a port request. All right, so we can say we are getting the message of something went wrong. So let's figure out what is happening here. All right, so we are getting a null message here. So let's check over what is happening. All right, so now let's try to debug everything over what the values we are getting. So I'll simply say console log customer. All right, console log both of this stuff. Yeah. So now let's try to send a request. All right, so now you can see we are getting a message of user already exists because the user is already under our application. So right now let's try to log in with another user. But for now, let's check over why we are not getting our message back. So now we were simply getting something went wrong. So let's go to add customer method, and here if customer, I'll simply say a new method. If not user exists, if check if exist does not happen, if we are getting some values, at that point we'll be returning a true. Yeah. Also after this if else block, I'll be returning a true as a default one, right? Because we are only getting an error once we are adding here check if exist. So now let's try to sign up one more time. So here I'll simply say, let's say Rishi, and send a post request. Okay, why we are getting here something went wrong, let's check it out. So let's go to animation controller. Okay, so let's try to remove the following method. If let's try to send only directly everything. So the Rishi is already existing now, so I'll simply say Ria. Right, so let's send a request. All right, so now you can see we are getting our JWT back. That is our data back. Signed to be true and message to be our entire JWT. I can copy the entire JWT from this side, and if I go here and if I make it big, and if I simply paste my JWT here, you can see here the following payload is existing here. That is customer email is ria@gmail.com. Now this proves us that our JWT is working as fine. So now if I try to sign up one more time, you can see you will be getting a message of user already exists. If I add here a wrong email address and if I send a request, you can see you will be getting a message of invalid email. Now this means that everything is working up and fine. So now let's try to work over the method of login. Once we are able to create a new users, we need to also create a method of logging all the users. I can copy the following boilerplate and I'll paste everything here. So here I'll call the method name to be login. Right. So now let's work on this side. Now what we need to do, we need to also check some data back from our repository. So I can copy the entire thing from this side and paste it here. So I'll simply say check user, right, user data to be this method name. We don't require hash password, so let's remove it out. Also for checking the user data, we only require a customer email. So let's say customer email to be a string. So right now what we will be doing, we need to get our user data. Right, so now what I'll be doing, I'll simply say let customer data should be equal to wait, let's zoom out in a little bit. I'll say, let's say this dot create query builder, it will be having a customer table name. I'll simply say select and I'll simply say this where phrase. So I can copy where phrase because we need to save our time, right? And I'll simply say get one. Once I get the data, I'll simply say return customer data. Right, so this will be our entire method. So I'll say this method name to be get user data. Right, instead of get check user data, I'll say get user data. Right now what I can do under my login method, first of all we need to validate all of our users, right? So I can use my validation method. So let's copy that and paste it here. Right now I will also require a else block. Easy. So now if the email is invalid, we are sending this message back. Else we need to compare all of the passwords. So right now what I'll do, I'll simply say here we need to call our user repository one more time. That is customer repo. So let's call our customer repo and paste it here. So now what we'll be doing, first of all we need to check whether the user data exists under the application or not. Right. So I'll simply say let customer data should be equal to await customer repository dot get user data. Right. It will be requiring a customer email. So right now what I'll do, I'll say if customer data is equal to undefined. If the following data is undefined, I'll simply say a different message here. So I'll simply say signed to be false, and here I'll simply say user do not exist. Right? If the customer data is undefined, we are saying customer, that is user, do not exist. But if the data is not undefined, we need to carry out the further process. Right? We need to compare the passwords. So right now what I can do, we need to first of all take our old user password. So I'll simply say old user password is equal to user, that is customer data dot customer password. Right. So now what we can do now, we need to compare our old password with our new password. So right now I can say this password will be nothing but simply new customer password, or we can use our customer password as it is. So right now what I can do, I'll simply use the method of bcrypt dot compare. Under this compare, we need to compare the customer password with the old user password. It will be giving us a callback. The callback will be having an error to be any, and also a boolean of is matched. Right? It will be having a boolean just like this. We can throw arrow function. Easy. So now first of all we are getting some error. So at that point what we can do, we can use our block of something went wrong and paste it here. Right? But after this we'll be getting a is matched. So right now if I say if is matched is equal to true, if is matched, what I can do, I can send some different response back. The response will be nothing but simply our JWT. So now I can copy the sign method of JWT and I can simply paste it here. Right now, if the following passwords are matched, I'll send this one. But I can also add a method that is a condition of is not matched. So I'll simply say if not matched, I'll simply say here sign to be false, and here I'll simply say wrong password or wrong credentials. So this will be our method for login purpose. So right now what I can do, we can go to our routes, authentication routes. We can copy our post method, and here I'll simply say a login method. Also I'll simply say here login method. So now let's try it out. Let's open our debug console. Okay, everything is running. So let's open our postman. Now I can copy the path and I can paste it one more time here. Right, it will be also having some raw body. So under this body I can copy the old credentials and I can paste it here. Let's send it. Let's send a post request over the path of login. I can simply send a post request now. All right, you can say invalid email because we do miss our @ sign. So let's send a request. So now you can see we have got a right credentials. So we are getting our message also assigned to be true. But if I say here a wrong password and send a request, you can see we'll be getting a message of wrong credentials. Also, if I add some random user and if I send a request, you can see user do not exist. Now this means that everything is working and fine with our Amazon clone. So now once everything is done, let's check whether we are able to add some data under our PostgreSQL Explorer or not. So I'll simply refresh the items, and under my Amazon clone, I'll open this, and under my customer, I can select my top 1000. So now you can see the following password of the customers are added to be a big format. First of all, initially we added all of the password under plain case, but now we are able to add the passwords with the help of the big strings. So this was all for today. I hope you have learned something new and exciting, and I hope you will be carrying out the process of authenticating in your own Amazon clone. So till then, if you have loved this video, please hit that like button. It will be awesome if you comment something here. Also comment hearts or any sort of thing. It will be only encouraging the engagement over the video. So make sure you do that stuff, and I'll see you in the next one.